By the Great Void! Supreme Commander Cax-Ra's tentacles trembled as he stared at the holoscreen. This has to be some sort of cosmic joke! The emergency alert flashed with an irritating persistence that matched the growing headache in all three of his brain lobes. After 200 years of perfectly executed surveillance, some primitive apes with barely functional spacecraft had somehow detected their cloaked observation post near Jupiter. Just perfect. How? He demanded, glaring at the nervous technician who looked like he wanted to molt right there in the command center. How did these humans, who still think reality TV is peak entertainment, manage to detect our quantum-shifted base? Lieutenant Parvos cleared his throat, or whatever passed for a throat in his species. Sir, they sent us a message. A message? Cax-Ra's epidermis shifted from its usual dignified purple to an undignified shade of chartreuse. What kind of message? The lieutenant activated the main display. A simple text transmission appeared. Knock knock. Nice cloaking tech. Might want to upgrade your quantum masking algorithms though. They're so last century. The worst part wasn't the detection. It wasn't even the embarrassingly casual tone. No, the worst part was that infernal smiling symbol at the end. Cax-Ra had spent enough time studying human communications to know they called it an emoji. The sheer audacity of it made his auxiliary spine tingle. Call the council, he sighed, and somebody get me a bottle of fermented Zygonian nerve tonic. I have a feeling this is going to be a very, very long solar rotation. The council chamber hummed with nervous energy as Chief Scientific Officer Mira Lith, a being who looked like a cross between a jellyfish and a supercomputer, projected her findings. As you can see, she gestured with a luminescent appendage, human technological progression is, well, it's somewhat alarming. A series of graphs appeared, showing exponential curves that made several council members emit distress pheromones. In 1945, they were splitting atoms and celebrating it by destroying their own cities. Quite logical, obviously. The sarcasm in her bioluminescent patterns was impossible to miss. By 2025, they had quantum computers and were arguing about whether their social media influences were real or AI-generated. And now they can detect our best stealth technology. Elder Crintox finished, his crystalline form dimming with concern. The question is, do we initiate first contact, or do we maintain silence and hope they forget about us like they forgot about their numerous streaming service passwords? Miralith pulsed with what passed for laughter in her species. With all due respect, Elder, I believe that Starship has left the docking bay. The next transmission came 3 days later, while Cax-Ra was in the middle of his 4th cup of nerve tonic. A human probe, if you could call it that, had appeared next to their base. Just appeared. No hyperspace signature, no quantum wake, no warning. It simply popped into existence like some cosmic practical joke. Analysis, Cax-Ra barked, trying to hide his growing sense of dread behind military protocol. Sir, Security Chief Vextor reported, his exoskeleton clicking nervously. The probe appears to be operating on principles that our sensors can't, sense. That's literally their job. Cax-Ra felt his color shifting again. How can they not sense it? Because, a new voice interjected, as every screen in the command center suddenly activated at once. You're trying to analyze 25th century tech with 23rd century tools. The human face on the screen smiled, actually smiled. With teeth. How barbaric. By the way, the human continued, we really enjoyed all those nature documentaries you've been making about us. The one about humans' religious devotion to something called Netflix and chill was particularly entertaining. Though you might want to update your cultural database, that's so 2020. Security Director Vextor's presentation to the Council would have made a black hole seem cheerful by comparison. "Distinguished members," he began, his armored plates rattling with suppressed agitation, "I regret to inform you that our surveillance operation has been, well, how do the humans put it? Ah, yes, we've been punked." The council chamber erupted in confused murmuring. Elder Crintox had to flash his crystalline form 3 times to restore order. "Explain," he commanded. "Those scout ships we lost over the years? The ones we thought crashed due to their primitive atmospheric defense systems?" Vextor activated a hologram showing wreckage patterns. "They didn't crash. They were caught, like those fish humans keep as pets." "You mean?" Cax Ra interrupted, his color now a fascinating shade of mortified. "Every time we smugly reported that humans had discovered another piece of our technology, they were letting us think they'd just found it," Vextor confirmed. "While they probably already had better versions, it's like they were patronizing us," Miralith finished, her tentacles writhing with a mixture of horror and admiration. "Like we do with pre-spaceflight civilizations." Fleet Admiral Zaira Khan, whose species resembled a living constellation given military rank, delivered the kind of report that made retirement on a remote asteroid seem increasingly attractive. "Our long-range sensors have detected human vessels throughout the Kuiper Belt," she announced, her stellar core pulsing with barely contained anxiety. "They appear to be using some form of faster-than-light travel that doesn't involve hyperspace, quantum tunneling, or any other method we understand." "That's impossible!" Elder Crintox flared. "Their physics papers still debate whether faster-than-light travel is possible." "Yes," Zaira Khan replied, her stars dimming sardonically. "And I'm sure it's pure coincidence that they publish those papers on exactly the same channels they know we monitor." A heavy silence fell over the council chamber, broken only by the sound of Cax Ra opening another bottle of nerve tonic. "Oh," Zaira Khan added, almost as an afterthought. "And we've detected their ships using our own cloaking technology, but better. It's like they took our designs, fixed all the flaws, and then added features we hadn't even thought of. Rather embarrassing, really." Anthropologist Lara Sen's presentation began with what humans would call a facepalm, if her species had either faces or palms. "We've been watching their broadcast signals for 2 centuries, she explained, her holographic form flickering with embarrassment. "Reality shows, social media, political debates. We thought we were observing their actual civilization." She projected a series of human broadcasts, then overlaid them with recently discovered data. The contrast was devastating. While we were laughing at their cat videos and cryptocurrency crashes, they were building a quantum civilization under our sensors. Those nuclear fusion rockets we thought were their cutting edge. Decoys, the political conflicts we monitored, largely theatrical. "Are you saying," Elder Crintox's crystalline form vibrated with disbelief, "that humans have been broadcasting entertainment specifically designed to deceive us?" "No," Lara Sen corrected. "I'm saying they've been broadcasting entertainment for themselves, while knowing it would lead us to underestimate them. It's like they turned our entire surveillance operation into the galaxy's longest-running practical joke." The message arrived on all frequencies, in perfect galactic standard, with impeccable diplomatic formatting that somehow managed to seem even more threatening because of its politeness. "To the distinguished observers stationed near Jupiter, we appreciate your dedicated documentation of our species over the past 200 years. Your reality TV analysis has been particularly amusing. However, we feel it's time to dispense with the pretense. We would like to formally invite you to reveal yourselves and establish official diplomatic relations. We are prepared to share our actual technological and cultural achievements, which we believe you may find illuminating." You have 24 Earth hours to respond. We've attached a user manual for your own cloaking device, including several suggestions for improving its efficiency. Consider it a gesture of good faith. Warmest regards, Humanity PS. The cat videos are actually genuine. Some things are too perfect to fake. The emergency council session that followed the ultimatum was chaos. Pure chaos. The kind of chaos that would make a quantum uncertainty principle seem orderly. They detected us during their second global conflict, Lara Sen revealed, her holographic form practically vibrating with excitement. When their primitive radar systems caught glimpses of our ships, instead of panicking, they adapted. Adapted? Cax-Ra's color had settled into a permanent state of disbelief. They realized they were being watched, she continued. And instead of launching nuclear weapons at us, or descending into global panic, they united, secretly. They used the knowledge of our existence as motivation to advance their civilization at an unprecedented rate, while maintaining the appearance of a divided, entertainment-obsessed species. Elder Crintox's crystalline structure sparkled with what might have been admiration. Precisely. They turned our own anthropological assumptions against us. Every time we thought we were studying them, they were actually studying our reaction to their performance. The human ships appeared around their base with the same casual disregard for physics as their probe had shown. They were beautiful in an absolutely terrifying way. They've established bases on Mars, Europa, and Titan, Vextor reported, his exoskeleton now clicking in a rhythm that suggested he was considering a career change. Completely shielded from our sensors until now, they're more advanced than us in at least 37 critical technologies. 42, actually, the human commander's voice corrected over their comm system. But who's counting? Cax-Ra stared at the tactical display, where human vessels had somehow managed to surround them in three-dimensional space that shouldn't have had enough dimensions to surround anything. Options? He asked the council. We could refuse to acknowledge them, Elder Crintox suggested, not very convincingly. And risk becoming the punchline in humanity's next evolutionary step? Miralith's tentacles waved dismissively. I think our dignity has suffered enough. The formal first contact ceremony was held in Earth orbit, which the humans insisted upon for old time's sake. As Cax-Ra prepared to deliver his carefully prepared speech about peaceful coexistence and cultural exchange, the human ambassador, wearing what appeared to be deliberately primitive clothing, smiled that disconcerting, teeth-baring smile. You know what the funniest part is? She asked conversationally. We surpassed your technology about 50 years ago. We just wanted to see how long you'd continue making those fascinating documentaries about our primitive society. But why? Cax-Ra managed to ask, his color shifting through shades of embarrassment not previously known to exist. Because, she replied, you gave us the greatest gift any species could receive, a reason to unite, to push ourselves, to exceed our limitations. Also, your reactions to our reality TV shows were priceless. We've been keeping a documentary series about your documentary series. It's our most popular entertainment program. As if on cue, a holographic screen materialized, showing the Council's various reactions to human cat videos over the years. The human crew burst into laughter. Cax-Ra reached for his nerve tonic, only to find it replaced with something called Earth Coffee. Welcome to the galaxy, the ambassador grinned. For real this time. We have so much to show you, starting with what actually happens during Netflix and chill. Somewhere in the vast expanse of space, the concept of irony smiled to itself and went to get some popcorn.